All right, mate. I'm going to show you how to do a quick and easy SEO ranking report that people will actually look at. It takes out all of the extraneous shit that no one really wants to see. So if you're like an in-house marketing manager or an in-house SEO manager, or even if you're your agency side or a freelancer and you just want a simple SEO report to show people top-level ranking movement and just give them a simple score basically to track rather than these big 10-page PDFs, then this will save you a lot of time. Obviously, if people want to go deeper into reports, you can spend the time pulling everything out. But this is just a really quick and easy way that me and my mate came up with when we was working in-house at a really big brand in the UK. I was the head of SEO there. He was the head of all paid media and activity. So he was far more expensive than I was. But this is just a cool little spreadsheet that I think you'll like. And I'll share some caveats at the end, things to bear in mind. Okay, so other than that, do you like me pictures that my missus put up? She's more artistic than me. Oh, my jacket is the same colour as the background. Right, I'll see you on the computer. Okay, so welcome to a blank spreadsheet. As I said in the beginning, this is a simple ranking report. So this doesn't account for organic traffic. It doesn't account for conversions or anything like that, really. Obviously, those are things that you might want to report on separately, but this is just a nice, easy way to reflect how the rankings are going. Obviously, if you're using something like SEMrush or any like SERPlab is a good one. There's obviously so many different softwares out there now for tracking rankings, but a lot of the time, clients don't want to see a spreadsheet with 100 rows showing them every single ranking for every single keyword. What you want is a nice way to kind of accumulatively tell them how it's going, either week on week or each month, depending on how you do your reporting. So what I'll do is I'll show you a simplified version of this, and then obviously you can kind of make it fit your own reporting. So the first thing to bear in mind is that I would massively reduce the number of keywords that I'm reporting on in this spreadsheet. If you can, you're going to want to keep this to like 10 to 20 keywords. So I'll give you an example. The big brand that I used to work in-house at, I was the head of SEO at WeBuyAnyCar.com. So obviously there were some big keywords there that we were trying to rank for, and we were ranking for them as well at the time. So buy my car, a very broad, high search volume keyword. Value my car valuation. Sell my car, all this stuff, right? So those are like non-branded keywords. The thing to bear in mind is that each one of those keywords has a lot of variations. So sell my car, well, people also search sell my car quick. People search sell my car online, sell my car near me, and 100 more, probably more than that. So I'm not going to include all of those different variations of sell my car and extensions of that and secondary keywords and long tail keywords and all that shit. I'm just going to keep that to sell my car. So I'm going to call that keyword A. So that is the highest search volume keyword in that cluster of keywords, right? So then another example would be car valuation, online car valuation, quick car valuation, etc., etc. I just put in car valuation. So I'm just going to keep this broad. I'm not going to put car valuation in because I want you to be able to keep this broad, you know. So let's call that keyword B, and so on and so on. The thing that you want to follow is basically putting in the primary keyword for that group, because the primary keyword moving kind of shows the movement of the group as a whole. Obviously, you'll want to report on short-term wins, long-tail keywords. If you really have to dig that sort of stuff out and report on it, then go for it. But I recommend keeping this list short and sweet, because the point of all this is that clients don't like to see big reports. They like nice, neat, concise things that summarize the performance itself. People, obviously, this sort of comes from a big brand corporate background. Chief financial officers and CEOs and stuff like that, they don't want to see a big report. They've got a million reports to look at. They just want to get the gist of how it's going. So this is particularly good if you're like an in-house or if you're reporting to an in-house. I was really hoping that was going to populate with all the letters. All right, welcome back. The magic of editing. So now what you want is the position. Let's say you're going to do a week. Let's say you're doing it week on week, right? So that's your ranking position. You can call it rank or whatever you want. Okay, so this week is the week commencing the 14th. So you might want to go something like that. Week commencing 14th of Feb. Look at the sun coming through that window into my eyes, man, while I'm filming. That's why I did the intro over by the picture wall. So this is your ranking position week, starting this week, right? So then next week, if you're going to do week on week, it can be week commencing the 21st and so on. So you rank for keyword A, you'll probably want to track the ranking on each Monday if you're going to do it week on week. So let's say the ranking for this keyword was 5 this week, this one was 3, this one was 6, this one was 10 because it needs work. Again, this one, that one is 8, 6, and 4. Let's say there's a nice mixture of all page 1 keywords here, and I'll tell you why this accounts for page 1 in a minute. So basically what we want is a total for all these numbers. So you'll want a running total that goes across the bottom of this as we start to pad it out, and you can call this SEO score. So this is the accumulative position, all added up, comes to a total of 51, right? So then next week commencing, what was it, 21st? Let's say this week, this one's gone to 4, this one's stayed at 3, this one's come down to 5, maybe 8, 7, 6, 5, and this one stayed at 4. So this is how, in the future, what obviously, like we're jumping in a time machine now and going to next Monday, this is how the rankings ends up having moved, okay? So then this week, if you do a running total for if you do the SEO score for this week, this number has come down by 9. So that means that on average, your primary keywords have seen an improvement of an average improvement of 9 places week on week. Okay, so this is what essentially, if the SEO score is going down, then that's a good thing. If it's going up, then on average you've lost places. So we'll do an example of that now. How many days are there in February? 28. Yeah, so 21st or 28th is the last day, isn't it? Week commencing the 28th. So let's say this week, for whatever reason, the rankings have gotten worse again. This one's gone to 5, this one stayed at 3, this one's jumped to 7. Let's say this one's gone back to 10, 7, 9, 6, and 5. I love how I'm putting not 53, bloody hell, 56. I love how I'm putting so much thought into this. It's just utterly meaningless. So let's apply the running total again to this one. So now this one's gone up to 52. So on average, we've lost 10 places here. So what you might want to do as well is week on week, if this is improved, maybe mark it in green. Or maybe you want to mark it as good, whatever you want to do. If it's gotten worse, maybe mark it in red. And then week on week, ideally what you want to see is, a few greens in a row, because that means week on week it's getting better. And it's easier for them to visualize once they've got, obviously, a bit of a history with the performance. Okay, so this is basically the SEO score. Now, how many keywords are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The best possible SEO score that you could have for organic rankings is 8. Like, that is the absolute dream, because that would mean that all of these were 1. Does that make sense? Because obviously, if I was to do the running total for this, it'd be 8. So if you had 10 keywords here, the best possible SEO score would be 10. If you had 20 keywords here, the best possible SEO score would be 20. Unless you were very clever and you managed to get like a featured snippet ranking for one of these, I would actually, to be fair, class that as a position 0 ranking, just so that this, the integrity of the spreadsheet stage. You still need to give it a value. So a value of 0, actually, you could kind of surpass, you know, the best possible score by getting a few featured snippets in there. Because of the featured snippet, normally you'll still get 10 organic rankings and the snippet at the top. Sometimes, obviously, it drops it down to like 9 or 8 organic rankings. But so this is just a nice, neat and tidy little way of reporting, right? So some things to bear in mind. First of all, you're probably not going to want to do this for keywords if they're on page 3 and beyond, maybe even 2 and beyond. If a keyword is ranking, I don't know, like 28, rankings at that in that place in the search results are very volatile, right? So let's say, for example, let me remove this one here. Okay. There we go. So let's say actually this keyword, when we first started, was ranking 54. It'd be, you know, with some good optimization, that actually might drop down to like immediately 28, probably better, maybe even 14 or something like that. That's a huge improvement. That's obviously affects your SEO score massively. But because keywords in this at this level are so volatile, it kind of throws the rest of the entire system out. You know, it's measuring such small changes. You know, this what on the first page, it's a case of going maybe 10 to 8 to 6 to 5 to 4. Those are changes of 2 and 1 and 3 here and there. But this has just jumped like almost 20, I'm terrible at maths, 26 places, is that right? 26 places in one jump. But then, you know, this could go again the week after back to 36, and then the week after to 18. Rankings when they're in this place in the SERPs are all over the place. So including rankings that are quite far down the search results makes it kind of compromises the integrity of this little system. So what I would encourage you to do is implement this for high priority, sort of high search volume keywords once they're in a more stable place. And I'm talking about the first page, maybe the first half of the second page. Once it gets into that world of, you know, 18, 24, 36, 17, you know, it kind of does jump around a lot. And then this, essentially the total then becomes all over the place, and it just won't do you many favors in the long run. So obviously you'll want to clean this up a little bit, make it fit your reporting. I obviously just like to clean spreadsheets up, but, you know, put your branding on it, put the client's branding on it, whatever it is. If you're a freelancer or you're in-house, you will need to put branding on it, obviously. But do whatever you want with this. Let me know if you find this useful. Obviously, this is my first YouTube video as well. I've been promising myself that I'd start putting little guides out and tips that I've picked up. So if you like it, just let me know, and I'll do some more. I've got so many things that I've picked up over the years that I can share with you. Like it, you know, hopefully you'll find it useful. So let me know in the comments if you've got any questions, if you need me to help you make this fit. I probably could do with it. And then what would the next one be? Week commencing the 1st? No. The 7th? I don't know. Anyway, let me know how you get on. I'll see you in a bit. Bye.
Hiya. I hope you enjoyed my YouTube video. I'm just editing it together now. If you want to see more guides and tips and things that I've learned after over a decade in the digital marketing industry, give us a bloody subscribe, for God's sake, and like the video, and just come back next time and I'll show you something else. I don't know what yet, but it will be excellent. All right, I'll see you in a bit.